The Oklahoma City Thunder are now 47 games in the season, and man, it just feels like we are in the dog days of the NBA season, especially for the Thunder, because it feels like we just keep taking hit after hit after hit with guys going out due to injury. We've now lost two in a row, and it just feels like the All-Star break could not get here soon enough for this Oklahoma City Thunder team. Fortunately, that's right around the corner in a couple of weeks. And this team, they just really need some time to get healthy. Hello, my name is Nathan, and this is Thunder Up Talk. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And if you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. So, before I talk, I think a lot of fans feel like the sky is falling. It's the end of the world. That's not the case. The Thunder are still 7-3 in the last 10 games, so not terrible. We are still 5.5 games up above San Antonio. I think it just is bad. It feels bad because we've actually lost two games in a row. That hardly ever happens here recently in the last couple of years. And I will admit the Indiana Pacers game to me, which I was able to be at, it was a lot of fun, but it did feel like a bad loss for sure. Um, Now the Raptors game, that's a pretty solid team. They are the 3 seed in the East, and they play hard, they play great. Scotty Barnes is really good, and I really like that coach of theirs that they have. But it just feels with this, it's more about the Thunder though. So, we'll go on runs and, maybe a 10-2 run or something and kind of get ahead or make it close. But then the other team just pushes it back. And it feels like we're just constantly trying to catch up in these last couple of games. Um, and you can't win, super consistently. We're certainly not going to blow out teams doing that. And it comes down to injury. We are playing, I love Brooks Barnhizer. I love everything about him, his effort, his energy, his rebounding for size, but he is not ready for NBA games, for real minutes for this team. He, is looks kind of scared to shoot the ball. And you can't have a player like that playing real minutes. He's great at moving the ball, he'll set screens, he'll hustle, but we've got to have guys out there that actually impact the game. Usman Jang, again, another guy. I'm not trying to hate on these guys, but Us played 20 minutes against the Raptors. That's way too much. Earlier on in the season, he's playing, garbage time when we're up 20. So guys like that are guys who we're kind of relying on to actually play meaningful minutes in these games when everyone's out. And it's not that they're bad. They may be just a net zero, a neutral. They'll pass the ball, they'll move the ball around, they'll set screens, like I said. But when you have guys like AJ Mitchell who will actually make plays, they will win games. They will drive the ball to the basket. Alex Caruso, who will immediately make an impact, causing havoc defensively. The second he enters a game, like it's just a difference. Same with iHeart, when he enters the game or when he starts, he's rebounding the ball. He is making plays for other guys, cutters, giving them easy baskets. So when you remove guys who are difference makers and actively are impacting the game with guys who aren't quite used to doing that, you're going to get the result that we've had, which is losing more than we have and losing a couple here in a row. So I'm not worried at all in regard to these actual losses. Like to me, that doesn't matter. We're still in a great spot, being up 5.5 games against San Antonio, which I was talking to a friend about this today. The rest of the West should be like they should be going on the run. This is their time to try to catch up to Oklahoma City, but that just isn't happening. So that's a great thing for the Thunder, but again, the number one thing is just getting this team healthy. That is all that matters. Um, and I didn't even mention in all of that, of course, our second best player, Jalen Williams, who unfortunately was starting to look like himself before that hamstring injury. So yeah, it's just tough, and I am just so ready for this team to have a week of not playing any real basketball, to hopefully recover and hopefully we ramp up slowly and we start hitting our peak right around the start of playoffs. One guy who has been peaking all season long, no matter what, is Shea. This guy's been incredible. So he scored 40 points against the Bucks a few games ago. He was one of the best games I've ever seen. Super efficient, just controlled the game, did whatever he wanted. He was also phenomenal against the Pacers. He scored 47 points, and I don't think that's quite talked about. I don't think it's talked about quite enough just because that was in a loss, and I do get that. And again, he scored 24 against the Raptors, and he was super, super efficient. So Shea has been doing his part. He's been phenomenal. Um, we just really we need our guys back, and I don't know if you've been watching the games or what, but if this doesn't make you miss, again, the whole time I was just thinking about AJ Mitchell. Like, he allows us to at least be able to breathe a little bit when Jalen Williams is out. You know, just a guy that puts pressure on the rim, dribble penetration, getting to the bucket, making right plays, constantly getting inside the lane, dishing it out for his teammates. Um, you know, the more stagnant our offense is without him, it just, to me, really makes me think that we are really, really, really reliant on him. And I don't think that is quite talked about enough either. And I'm so excited to see what he looks like going into the playoffs. But again, I said it at the beginning. These are just the dog days of the NBA season, and it's really hitting the Thunder super hard. These injuries, and as long as we can get our guys, healthy and going into the playoffs, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be more than fine. Um, but there are other teams still with injuries as well, mainly the Nuggets, and I've talked about the Nuggets a ton. They are still doing pretty well given the amount of injuries they've had. So I think at the end of the day, if all the teams are healthy, we're going to see the Thunder and the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. So with that, that's all I've really got for today. Luckily, the Thunder play the Pelicans tonight. That's a great team to kind of get back to our winning ways. So hopefully we can do that tonight. All right, that's all I've got. I will talk to you later and Thunder up.